Hello, welcome to your Monday Night Plastic Crack podcast, season 6, episode 17. It feels like it's been a while for the stop start. I don't know about you guys, but it's really messed up my my sort of weekly clock. And
Yeah. I never know what day it is.
I'll tell you what's really concerning. It's Elaine keeps forgetting it's now on because she got so fixated. Like Mondays, now it's like, oh, you're doing that now. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we've got to get back to some regularity.
Exactly. Well, that's what we're going to do. There's 5 Mondays in June, and there's no bank holidays, so we'll be every week. Anyway, Phil, welcome everybody. We're tonight because it had been a while. We just thought it'd be good to have a chat. Just do some painting, have a chat, just see what comes up, what questions come up in the chat. I've seen a couple of the questions on Facebook, have a look at the news, and just basically do what we used to do, and chat crap for 2 hours. And you're very welcome to join us. Let's see who we have here. Of course, welcome to everybody who's watching on the catch-up. Thank you as well to Boards and Swords, who sponsor the podcast. And if you go over and buy stuff on their lovely website and you put in the code PCP5, you will get another 5% off on top of everything else that they already have money off on. So go and do that, because I'm sure there'll be things in the news section that we talk about that you're going to want. So do go and have a look. How are you guys? You guys all right?
Yeah.
Can't sound
great.
Yeah, back to normal. It's been this, like you said, this break over the past sort of 6-7 weeks. I never know what day it is, because I always associate Monday with here.
Yeah.
I know it's Monday and I'm good to go for the rest of the week, but it's been strange. It's been really strange.
It's been short work weeks and no crack talking. It's been really, really throwing me out completely. But otherwise very good. I'm recovering from doing the London to Brighton vintage car rally yesterday.
I've seen you put a video up. I haven't watched it yet, and I saw that short that you put up, and I was like, "Is he flipped and just gone and bought like a classic car?"
No, not me, mate.
Going across Europe or something. I was really confused.
I honestly thought the same thing. I thought he's had some kind of crisis. He's gone out and bought a 1930s 2-seater.
I was definitely getting wacky races.
It did look a bit like wacky races, to be absolutely honest. No, don't fret. I am not going to be heading now. I am the most, I'm the most technically incapable person in the world. The idea of someone trying to manage a bloody car is zilch. No, this, how good things always come about because of too much alcohol. This was my mate who's restored this beautiful old. It's an Austin 7, apparently. I had to look it up.
Right.
Apparently it is, which is a really old 1930s car, and he rebuilt it. And he said, "Oh, I've always fancied doing it on a nice long run." I said, "Oh, we should do the London to Brighton." And he went, "Oh yeah, I quite fancy that." And so, lo and behold, we did the London to Brighton. So there you go.
Fantastic.
170 miles later. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's us.
Going on.
Stop doing that. You do it then.
Trying to upload something.
All right, there you go.
You do it.
I'll show you. There you go. That's us finishing on the finishing line. Coming, and I can assure you that up there and back for nearly 6 hours in that little thing. Bloody hell! But it was fun. There you go. That's what I got to.
You do look like you're made for that car.
It has been said, although we did deliberately put on the flat caps because we did have some really old-fashioned goggles, but they steamed up rather a lot. So,
Dom, would I struggle to fit in?
You bloody well would. I mean, I, as you know, I'm not a small chap in terms of width, but also, sort of. As it was, Paul beside me, apparently it was the thing he had to do. He had to keep putting his knee on my knee because it kept the gear stick in. Apparently, I don't know. But yeah, if it'd been you would have been hit by low bridges and all sorts, mate. I mean, that would have been it. And there's no roof on it. You would have been boogered.
That's fantastic. Let's see who's joined us on this heady Monday. I was about to say Monday morning. We definitely don't stream it Monday morning. David Baker, you're first in chat. Nick, you all right? How's it going the other side of Berry? Bigger Cities here. He's working on his epic Napoleonic French. John Surbury, greetings from a dark and stormy Mercy. No, wait, this is actually dark and stormy South Florida. That's a bit of a troll. Alid, how you doing, dude? Paul's Paint Shed, hello from Murcia, where the benevolence of Funor cast long shadows land, starting a new awesome project, and the weather is means that do you know what, you can't go outside, so there is actually nothing better to be doing. Pat Neal's here. Red Steph, how you doing? Andrew King, Lionheart, you're right, buddy. Mike Schubert, good evening from a chilly Western Cape. Rich, how you doing, buddy? Real Steve's here. Excellent.
Hey. You can start now.
Steve Harbour's here. How you doing, dude? Wargames Hobby, Sam Rushmere, Carl Burks, Wargaming History, Carazette, Martin Hoey from sunny Jersey, revisiting epic Napoleonic British and basing them on half-size bases for GDA 2. Wargaming, the gift that keeps on giving. That's true. Haley wouldn't agree, but you know, that's a friends of General Hay, Granaprigo, Andy Stocker, Benjamin Christian, how you doing, dude? Stoic Steve, Mobile and Hostile, Bill Dutton, Shellshock Scenits, how you doing, dude? Where else we go? Phil Redman, Rich, I've got loads of people in tonight. Mark Riding, Andrew Oates, Dynamo Miniatures. Hello, not sure I've seen you before, but if you haven't, I've missed you. Sorry, but if not, welcome. Dave Benton's here. How you doing, dude? Joseph Knarowitz is here. He's in a hot and sunny North Carolina, finishing up his blood and plunder Dutch. Awesome. I still avoid that game, looking at anything to do with that game, because I love playing it, and I'll buy it. It's that simple. I'll buy it. Double Dip, Tom Bedford, how you doing, dude? Wargamer of Kent, how you doing? Matt, how's it going? What else have we got? Eccentric Man, Little Legions, Tactical Exercises with Toys.
Oh, now that's a proper name.
That's a name and a half, isn't it?
Wow.
Tom McMahon, how you doing? From Arkansas. David Kerr, Carson Lambert, the plebiscite. Everybody's in tonight. Loads of people. Colonel 149 DKOK, how you doing? Lovely to see you. James is here from Shaco's. Look, did you come on a little bit late, James? You're normally here bright and early, raising the flag. What's going on? Carl Burks, the Talking Crap episodes are the best. Yeah. Well, if you remember when we did our little quiz thing and we did the, what do you want to do? I think it was like 82% of people said they just like us talking shit. So we're happy to oblige.
What we do normally.
Lazy Pirate Painting, Chair Sarah, or K Sarah, sorry. I misread that. Hello. Daryl's here. Hideyoshi Daryl, how are you doing? Lewis Jackson. God, the Hobby Brush. He got in. He put a comment saying he couldn't get into live chat. Welcome.
Well done.
Welcome. He's in. He's downloaded the app and he's ready to go. Awesome.
It's probably those big green fingers he's got, judging by his avatar, that he couldn't hit that.
Robert Smith, how you doing in? He's in northern China.
Ooh,
unreasonably moist and balmy. The hobby destiny is to wait till next month. Fantastic. Wow. The crack is spreading. Ed James, how you doing? Kevin Stork, and it's just done that thing. Oh, but I think we're fairly close to the bottom anyway. So welcome. Well, I figured what we'll do, as I said, is we'll go through, see what everybody's been up to, have a chat about what we've got planned, what projects we're doing. Feel free to drop questions in the chat and we'll start them and we'll get round to them. We'll do some news, see what's going on in the wargaming world. There's been quite a lot. There's a bit of a lull after Salute, and in the sort of last week or so, there's been a few announcements. So that's good because that helps kill 10 minutes for us. and then we will. I know, and then
we got 4 hours of viewers' pictures.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I've been sending note. The viewers' pictures, as always, will be at the end. So, Steve, what have you been doing? Have you been doing things?
Yeah, I've had a break from scenery. Although tonight I am doing scenery. I've gone back to bolt action. I'll see what I've been up to. A few things.
Oh yeah, so you put a video up.
Yes, yeah,
I haven't watched it yet. I must admit, but painting. Blimey, Steve's doing Germans again. What's going on?
I know it's like all the planets have aligned again. I'm back to painting Baltaxian Germans. I'm reorganizing my Baltaxian armies, and my Faustmega never had proper camouflage, so I've taken the do you know what? I've not even uploaded my pictures yet.
Nope.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll do it. There's not many, so
I'll do a quick diver to Dom. I'll change that. Dom, you have you been busy the last few weeks? I've definitely seen some pictures.
I've been bloody busy, mate. But first of all, I've got to give Benjamin a yellow card. Cheeky git. Cheeky git. It wasn't that funny.
It was. That's
yeah, it was quite funny. But he's still getting a yellow card for that one. There you go. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks, hasn't it? So the paintbrush has been whirring away quite merrily. In my usual, I can't. For some reason, at the moment, I am just all over the place in terms of what I'm painting. It literally is whatever I freaking well fancy, and it's very odd because I usually have one major project I'm stuck on, and then the rest sort of fill in the gaps. And when I just want to doing something different,
you did have quite a long period of just solid medievals, just pumping them out.
Well, I think that's possibly what it is. I haven't done any longbowmen for at least a month. Crikey, what's going on?
That's a long time, isn't it?
I know. But I did some of these fellas, some early Saxons, some of the old Victrix fellas.
Nice kit.
Yeah, good kit actually. I really enjoyed doing them, and they're pretty straightforward to paint up as well, which is good. So they're going to go because I feel that the Warlords have been pumping out all their little supplements for different periods, and I feel that they kind of the one that didn't really get enough love was the Arthurian one, which actually I thought was pretty darn good. And so I really want to have some games of it. So I'm sort of jumping away through that because I want to be able to have some big games with it. So yeah. So that's that lot, and then he's a bit out of focus, but there's Daddy Hero there. I don't know where
he's a bit of a bruiser, isn't he?
He's a bit of a lump, isn't he? Yeah. I'm not sure where I picked him up from. He's a metal figure. But I thought I'd do him as a hero, and if I go back to doing anything from what's that other one where you have the individual heroes? I've forgotten. Midgard, that's the fella. He could be a champion or something for that. So so that was fun. And then the other supplement that's got me really excited is the Mithridates one.
Yes,
and I realised I've got lots and lots of hoplites and pikemen and various other things, but looking through the book, there's an awful lot of imitation legions in the Mithridates army, which I barely have any. I hate painting Romans. It's one of my things. I just don't like doing them. But I remembered I had some sprues. You know, when Warlords send you all these sprues of when you make an order and they send you a free one.
Oh yeah,
whole load of later period or sort of mid-period Romans.
Oh, the Caesarians.
Yeah, Caesarians. So I painted these up as imitation legionaries. I mean, they're probably
that's a good idea. Yeah,
they probably wouldn't have Pelham, but I just thought I can do them in sort of dirt colours and just make them.
You say they have Pelhams, they just don't know how to use them properly.
Possibly, possibly. So that was interesting. There's a little unit of those, but it's always fun when there's like a free unit, isn't it? It's just a unit that I didn't expect to have, and I just went and did it. So, but the one thing I have been doing, because the other supplement coming, so now to mention 3 supplements, is the Italian Wars one.
Yeah,
so I thought
a couple of weeks.
And if you remember, I started the project. I think it was I think it might have been the early last year. I started doing a Italian Wars thing, or even the year before. And I just kind of ran out of steam because I didn't think I was going to game anything with it, and I need that incentive. So I got them all out again the other day and thought, there's a number of these that sort of sprued up, ready to go on this thing. So I did some more Landschlicks.
Yes, cod pieces.
Cod pieces ahoy! Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
yes. Oh yes.
They're a real mixture. There's Foundry and Steel Fist in there. Which I've had for ages in the pile, so that was kind of fun. So it was good to do. And I did a command. There you go.
Right, I'm going to point someone out here, and I know Graham said this as well.
You're not going to say the same thing, are you?
The chap in the middle,
the rotund chap in the middle looks like me.
It was just because I didn't think that, and I read his comment, and I may have chuckled quite a lot. But
I mean, don't tell him.
Unsee it.
I actually laughed a lot too because I think he actually is probably right. But there you go. Yeah,
I can't unsee it
now. Now I can't unsee it, so I might have to rip him off or change his head.
No, he's definitely got to be. He's got to be in there. You're just going to have to give yourself some suitable sort of grand name when he's on the table. That'll have to be you. You get the giant one. The giant guy could be Steve. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah. I would ask for suggestions in the chat, but I think it might go south very, very rapidly. So no. So that was good.
Domicino. Or Dom the Don.
Dom the Don. There you go.
They're being very kind to you. Robin just says it's because you're commanding presence. There you go.
God, what is going on? They're all being really nice. This is a quick move on before they change their mind. Yeah. There's still more, I'm afraid. So the other things talk more of the Italian wars. I did some more pike.
Oh God! That looks dangerous, doesn't it?
Bloody hell, they are, because they're proper metal pikes, and they flipping alert when you stab you. You may have noticed there's a bit of something that shouldn't really be in there in the middle of it, but I just thought, screw it, I'm going to do that.
Is it a bear?
There's a bear.
Yeah, is that the Perry bear? Is that the Perry one?
It is the Perry bear.
That is excellent.
I don't know. I'd probably do it to annoy Ken.
I saw. Was it on? I think it was on. I can't remember if it was on Lead Adventure on a miniatures page. I found some people moaning about the bear, and oh, what do I do with the bear? I bought it. What do I do with it? So why did you buy it? And then why would you not put the bear on? Who cares? It's a bear. Put the bear on the base.
It's supposed to be a mascot, and I thought I can give it +10 in melee against whoever it comes up against because
Andy's just giving me flashbacks. Follow the bear. Anyone remember? Hoffmeister. Do you remember that?
Hoffmeister. Yeah, exactly. Apparently, it is the emblem of Bern. So that's
it is. Yeah,
and they've got a bear in their midst.
They bought a bear.
They brought a bear along. I mean, why not? Why not? So that was kind of fun. I finished that. I just really enjoyed doing that, and that was a real laugh. And you mentioned, I think we both mentioned the other week, Parabellum buildings.
Yeah,
the beautiful 3D stuff.
I'm just working on one at the minute.
So I did the first.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Oh, nice.
That's what I'm working on. Nice.
Yeah. So
very cool.
Which I'm actually quite pleased with. It's so you can lift the lid off, so you can occupy it if you wish. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. Just lots of different washes and dry brushes and drag brushes and whatnot. And it's just amazingly detailed for a filament 3D print. It's extraordinary. Yeah. So I'm working my way through those at the moment. And then, Steve, this is for you, mate.
Oh, look at that.
I just started doing owl, because why not? So, snow owl from Badges and Burrows.
Did you research owl plumage?
Do you know what I did? Because actually the snowy owl isn't completely white. It has these little dark brown blobs on the back of its feathers. So that's why I did it. So yeah, I spent quite a lot of time, sadly enough, researching. The figure took about, I don't know, it didn't take very long to paint, but it took a lot longer to do the research into it.
I was going to say, if you Google or if you check someone's internet search history and they've got any kind of sort of animal plumage or pelt colours, it'd be like, you've been painting some burrows and badges. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't really put weasel fur into my search engine because you don't know what the hell is the crack is.
It did occur to me, Benjamin, when you said that. I thought, I mean, my cracks. No, I'm not going to say that. But
well, anyway. I hate. Well, if your mind went there, Benjamin, then you know that. No, is my audio coming through? Right? I've just seen a comment saying it's dropping in and out.
You earlier on, you're a bit.
Earlier it was a bit choppy earlier on, but it seems to be fine now.
There you go. That's what I've been up to. The steel loaded now.
Yes. So like I said, I've been reorganizing my Bolt Action armies for 3rd edition. We've got a few games planned. My mate's just finished his US Rangers, so I think we're going to be having a game of 3rd edition Bolt Action soon. So yeah, Fallschirmjäger, I started off painting these. So that's what I've done so far.
Nice.
I've actually got the 3-tone camouflage on there now. It's not massively accurate, but it's a lot better than it was, and I've rebased them all. I'm doing sort of urban basing. It's just been I was dreading it, but it's actually been a lot more fun than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be absolutely terrible. There's a sniper team. That's a metal one. That came with the original Fallschirmjäger starter box that I got 7-8 years ago. They're originally on a one big base, so I'm individually based and things as well. And there's a kit bashed crew from my medium machine gun team.
Oh, I like that. That's really
awesome.
Nice.
Really enjoying it. I've got another 20 to do, and then it's going to be completely done and dusted. Speaking of done and dusted, I was also working on my Winter US Airborne, and I worked out the only thing I needed to add to that was to expand the armored platoon. And
is this the new Airborne or?
No, this is my old
set.
Kit Bash. Right. No, my old Kit Bash Winter ones using German bits and pieces. So, excuse me, I bought an Easy 8 tank, an Easy 8 Sherman. Not Fury. I wasn't going to name it Fury. I know. Don has been working on one as well, and I've done it now. I started this last Saturday, and it's one of those kits that comes with separate tracks.
Ooh.
And it got so bad, and my anger levels, my girlfriend almost came in and filmed me.
I wish she had.
Can
you tell her to do that next time? That would be we could use that on the stream. That'd be brilliant.
There is literally those tracks are just uncalled for. There's no reason for having tracks like that. And I again almost ended up in the bin. I just flipped because it would not go together. It wouldn't fit. Ended up building up the rest of the track with milliput, and I honestly didn't think it was going to see the light of day, but I did finish it, and there it is.
Very nice.
It's very nice. Steve, is it fair to say that you had some fury?
Oh,
oh, there goes another rib.
I had Fury and about 6 sequels worth of Fury. Honestly, it wasn't fun. I'm convinced it was 2 separate kits, actually, because the tracks and the lower hull were an absolute pain to put together. They just did not want to go together at all. The upper hull and the turret after that dream went together, no problems at all. And I just really enjoyed painting it. So there it is with some of the Winter Airborne next to it, and there's the entire armor platoon. So it's Easy 8 Sherman and an M10 Hellcat. But yeah, those tracks, man, my heart sunk when it arrived. I was like, oh yeah, that's one for the long weekend. Opened it. Each track section is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 pieces. 10 pieces per track section. 10.
So 20. Oh god.
So yeah, 20 pieces to make up the track section.
Yeah, I remember sticking out those Panthers together, and I think they were in 4 pieces. But even then, I was sitting there going, I don't understand why this is a thing.
I don't understand
why is this here.
But I think it's the artillery ones. I think the ones that Warlord just make themselves. They probably got some feedback, because when I put that Matilda together a couple of years back, it was just one solid track piece. It was one piece, not 10.
Nobody needs Dom put together that nearly went through.
The Semavente.
Semavente. Jeez. Talk about.
I'll be honest, Dom. No, if I would have cheered myself up, I popped that video on because the best part about it is because it's broken down into sections. You start off at the beginning like enthusiasm 10, and as you go through each section, you can see the enthusiasm dipping and the anger rising.
Fuck. Again, it's one of my just absolute bugbears in life. I do modelling life anyway. Why the friggin' hell do they make these kits more complicated? I mean, if you're building a Tamiya or a scale model where they're doing absolutely accurately, absolutely do as many bits as you like. Put put individual feet, toenails in there for all I frigging care. But if it's going to be a tabletop model that you're going to play toys with, you don't need to do that, especially when they're doing, like you're saying, the multi-part bloody,
There's no
tracks.
There's no reason for it now.
Why don't you just do it as one piece? And I hate that in all models. It's like when you get a metal model as well, metal miniature, and they've not molded the arm on, and it's a separate piece, and then you've got to glue it on, or just the head, and it's like, but why? There's absolutely no need to. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Sorry, I shall calm down. I shall have a drink. I'm going to sit here in my cruise. He wound me up. There you go. He got me going again.
Oh, dearie me.
Anything else, Steve, or is that all?
No, that's
solidly
scenery for this week as well. Some more files from Jaeger, and I'm working. Well, I painted this ages ago. It's a SDKFZ 25010, and I realised yesterday I painted the gun the wrong colour. 7 years ago. So I spent yesterday painting that. That's going to be part of my files from Jaeger. I'm working on some rivers. This is a river kit I bought years ago. I'm going to funky this up with some mud and some water effect. And that's it, really. So, yeah, bit of scenery.
Awesome.
I would ask our resident expert on bolt action, Martin, but I think he's probably loading up pictures. But what about Bolt Action 3? Are you, because you haven't played a game yet, have you?
No, not yet. No, not yet.
So do you think it's going to be easier to play? Have you, what's your thought? Because I haven't played one either, and I'm intrigued by how much they've changed. And
you can say how bad is it?
Well, no, how bad the learning curve is well.
I think the actual gameplay, the only real change, from what I can understand, is the modifiers have been reduced.
But the cover's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, so you're now going to cover save.
Right.
So veterans in cover are quite difficult to remove.
Quite tough to shift. Yeah.
Yeah. But the only because I've not looked at the rules for ages. I think the only modifiers are movement and range. They got rid of the small team rule. That's gone.
Oh, did they? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So it does. I think I can imagine it flows better because there's. I know Robin he hates the word streamlined, but they have the combat has been streamlined for the most part. Everything is changed. I know they've changed the foobar rules slightly,
right?
Because now you can actually run off the table. You can just run away. But no, I'll give a proper look. Like I said last year, I know it sounds really, really petty, but that's the reason I left the Bolt Action Facebook group, was because of the reaction before it was released and after it was released.
Yeah,
it wound me up, so I had to leave, and it ruined. To be fair, it spoiled the game for me for a while because I couldn't believe that just this overreaction to everything. I mean, he's holding the gun the wrong way on the front cover. I don't care. There could be a picture of, I don't know, Earth, Wind, and Fire on the front cover of the book. I don't care. As long as the rules are fine.
I had the same problem as I was following, because I was genuinely interested, because I don't play it very often. And I like Bolt Action, but I don't play it very often. And I thought I'd really like to know what people feel about it. But there was such vitriol, so many people. Mind you, I was seeing Lardy Rich saying the same thing about Chain of Command 3. It's like, is this something that's just going to happen with every new rule set that comes out? It's bizarre this sort of thing's going on, or is it just a World War II thing? I don't know. Very odd.
Yeah, that's what James has just said, that the Chain of Command group is almost we'll come on to that. We can there's been some things happen over the last couple of weeks. I'm sure we'll come to that. Wargamer again, the general thing in the chat, it seems to be that everyone's saying it flows better. Wargamer again has been playing a bit and ran a tournament that flows better, and cover is very important. Officers do a lot more.
Cool.
I played a demo game of it at the Warlord Open Day, it did feel different to the other version, but probably not. I don't know. I probably didn't appreciate the changes as much as all the other people. Over there. I was busy.
I'll be honest. I am looking forward. Like I say, with there's more officers, there's more HQ units on the table now, so they can influence things. They didn't. I thought when they announced the officer rule, I thought it was going to be like chain of command, where the head officers virtually run the game, so no issuing orders, and didn't quite go as far as I would have liked. But
I'm not really sure when Matt does his gaming. Matt, where is this? Oh, I know where you. He's in Colchester. That every subscription to that gaming club is now going to go through the roof. Yeah, there's I believe there's a dance studio opposite, and there's one of those pole dance exercise classes there. Unless Matt's going somewhere else, he's found the Wargaming
club. So come and play toy soldiers and ogle the scenery. I don't know.
Yeah. Don, but that's the crux. Never understand that behavior. If you don't like version 3, don't play it. Why whine on the internet? But that's
exactly.
It's
the right answer.
Because what wargamers do best is
they bitch and moan.
Okay? That's as we know. But okay. Well, I've done a few bits of this. I did a few bits and bobs. So I finished my first retinue for the Baron's War, and I know I posted up some pictures of the first couple of units that I'd done, but I finished a couple more. So I just added in some levy just for shits and giggles. I really enjoyed painting these ones up, and the from what I've read of the Baron's War, and I'm hopefully going to have our first game this week. The general gist is that the unit has to be armed more or less the same way, so spears and weapons. But I think from what I read in the rulebook and my understanding is if at least half the unit is armed that way, then it's you can mix and match, do what you want, because the majority of the weapons are those. I mean, I'm never going to be playing anyone that's going to probably care enough, and if they do, then I probably won't be playing them again. But they were fun to put together, and you can just see behind them the barricades, which are awesome. That barricade set, which I think is going to be, so many people are going to be buying that for use in so many different games. I mean, just why not? Especially because you don't have to secure all those barrels and tables and that to the bases. It's essentially just 4 sprues of scatter terrain, which is awesome. So I've got those. Finished off some archers as well from there as well. The tried and tested kit. Although this was fun because the last time I didn't use any of those heads. So because I was using the later heads.
Yes.
So I realized I've got so many spare heads. So they're a bit of fun. And then I chucked these guys onto, because I built my little village here for the photos. I thought I'd chuck these guys down. So there they are. And there he is. There's Folks the Bear leading his horrible band of thugs.
I loved your backstory with him. Brilliant, really cool.
He's awesome. It's quite right. Someone did point out to me in the comments. It's quite right that everyone is awful. Yeah. He was exceptionally bad, awful. I mean, what happens after the Baron's War is even more interesting. I mean, he basically ended up trying to extort loads of nobles. Every time he come across a church or a holy person, he basically he didn't really kill them. He just ransomed them or took their money or burnt their church down. And then he fell out of favour with sort of the knights under Henry III. He also fell out with William Marshall. And he ended up under siege at Bedford Castle, and he thought he'd nip off to the Pope to basically get the Pope to tell everyone to stop laying siege to him. So he left his brother there while he was away. On his way to the Pope, they got into the castle and executed everybody, including his brother. And then the next day, he got the dispensation from the Pope saying stop attacking his castle. So he was great. They had quite a lot of nicknames. King John Scythe was one of them, and what was the other one? The something like the Rod of God or something like that. The Rod of God's Fury. That was it. He was unpleasant, which is why I felt drawn to him, I think. So anyway, you got those. I'm just working on something else, which I can't really talk about. But I've got the next retinue I'll be working on, which will be for someone on the Baron side rather than the Royalists. I'll do next. But I also had a game. I had a game against my darling wife. So That was fun. That was last weekend, and she offered. that was very. So I wasn't going to turn that down. So bank holiday weekend, and went back to the Gallic Wars. Here's Haley's force. As they came marching down the road. So we played one of the scenarios out of the Gallic Wars book, which was actually all about Crassus. So in this, Caesar isn't Caesar, he's Crassus. Cool. And it was Crassus in Aquitania, and essentially he's marching to lay siege to one of the Gallic strongholds, and en route, as often happens, he came across a lot of very angry and very upset Gauls that he was there. But we kept the rules of the scenario the same, just changed around the forces a little bit because, well, for two reasons. One, I didn't have everything that they listed in there, but everything that they listed in there was essentially just Roman cohort, Roman cohort, Roman cohort. It was all just,
vanilla, aren't they?
Yeah, so we split it up a bit and had skirmishes, and then I'll just share a. This is Haley's cavalry taking on the entire Gallic army. If you can see the Gallic army coming down the road. So I think that's. I was
going to ask what side Haley was going to take, because knowing her aggressive tendency, she could have done either, really, couldn't she?
No, she likes the Romans. She's definitely she likes that, but then also because you'll have to watch the video to find out if that actually happened. There's a lot of.
They're not very. They're not trusting you very much here, are they?
Can I just say that she doesn't roll dice very often, but when she does, they are ridiculously good, because those Roman dice are crap for me. And but those laurel wreaths, I never realised how insulting they are when they come up all the time. It's like, Jesus, just come on, give me a break. But there's quite a lot of good moments. So that's nearly edited and will be up next weekend. That was good fun. But yeah, I've got quite a few things. I've been back in the hobby, sort of the hobby mood. I've got the sort of semi-secret project I'm working on. I've got the Barons War that I'm working on. I've got those buildings that I'm working on, and of course, Crackcon sold out. We sold out, and in fact, hang on,
basically in a day.
Yeah. We had to almost wait for the official count to come in, but there we go. Look, bang, boom. Hey. We sold out in 24 hours, which is awesome. So thank you to everybody who bought a ticket. The games list is up. I will also pin a comment in this video like Dom did in his, which just gives you a list of games. I think there's well over a dozen people who aren't booking into games, and I think are just going to turn up and have a look around. But we have probably the most diverse list of games I think that we've ever had, and some cracking demos. I mean, everyone who's putting on a game, thank you so much. I mean, we've got World War I, World War II, Napoleonics, American Civil War, War of the World, so something a bit sci-fi. We've got demos of Ruckus, 7TV, More Time. We've got the big War of the Roses game. James Morris is putting on Midgard, and he's because we didn't have anything ancients, he's putting on a Trojan War one. The scenario is called Over My Dead Body, so I'm assuming they're fighting over either Achilles or Patroclus.
I would imagine Achilles.
I know, so that's cool. And and if I've forgotten your game, but there's a whole list on the Facebook page, and loads of it is just is booked out already. And
if you couldn't get a ticket, stick your details to us, and we'll have a reserve list should any tickets come available.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, and if you're not in the game, or if there was a game you didn't want to get into, you wanted to get into and there wasn't room, don't worry, you'll be able to go along. Most of the time, I've had people turn up to the games I'm running, and we've always found a couple of units or something that someone, or there'll be that big charge that someone's about to do, and so can't. So don't worry. What we'll be doing over the next few weeks, we're in the lead up to Crackcon as well. We'll be getting in touch with each of the people who are running a game, and we're going to ask them to essentially sell the game, and we'll be putting up a post about each game individually, and we'll also be reading it out on here. And there may, if we can sort it out, even be a show program. A little thing to take away, but we're very excited.
I wonder how long it'll take before they're up on eBay.
Oh well, yeah. Well, there'll be touts outside, won't there? There'll be touts outside. What do you say? We're bigger than the Rolling Stones?
Definitely. I've maintained this. When you compare audience sizes, age, obviously, and our tickets sell quicker than there, so we're bigger than the Stones.
There you go. It's official.
Excellent. I'm just quickly scrolling back through. Everyone is, I think, wants to go and ask Matt where this Wargaming club is. Yeah. I do agree with Matt's other comment though, which is nipping off to see the Pope is quite a flex. It is. I'm just going to go to the Pope and get some dispensation. If you want another character from the Baron Sword to look up Eustace the Monk. All right.
Oh yeah.
So Eustace the Monk, I don't know if you know about him, Steve, but he's amazing. He was a monk for about a week before he murdered someone, became a pirate, and took over the Channel Islands. And,
as far as career changes go, that's quite a steep one, isn't it?
Bit of a change, isn't it? Yeah.
Paul wants us to make a T-shirt with the Rod of God on it. I mean, I'm sure we could get a picture of a knight and have the Rod of God.
Are we still talking about the Chelmsford Club or what? No. Sorry, I had to go there.
No,
everyone's going there for a game of pole action.
Oh, poleaxe, yes. Oh dear, Crackcon 7 at the O2. Absolutely. We'll do that thing as well that Ghost have just done, where you're not allowed to take your mobiles in, where you have to put them in a pocket. All of that jazz. But so we've had there was a couple of questions on the Facebook post when I put this up. So I thought we could have a look at it if I can now find it. There we go. So, well, before we get started, sure to say, I'll just give a little shout out to our friend Yorkshire, who over on the Yorkshire Gamer currently is running one of his Wargaming World Cups, and this is essentially what does he call it? I can't remember how he puts this. He's got the World Cup of Wargaming Pet Hates over there. Look, I even got that for him. So go over and have a look. Whether it's World War I zombies or rules lawyers or round dice or a missing index, go over and have a look and vent your spleen over there. But yes, there's quite a lot going on in there. So yeah, go and have a look. Moving on from that, we've got a little question here from Ian Patterson. Now, I know we talked about this, previously. It's always good just to sort of have a refresh. We've got lots of new viewers. What is your biggest regret in your wargaming hobby life? Have you got one?
I've mentioned before that I never got to play Mordheim back in the day.
Well, it's funny because if you come to Crackcon, I believe Matt Wright has got a game of Mordheim.
I just think, from where that's come from and the online community it's got now, and it's being kept alive, and it's just looks like such a fantastic game. And I always liked the sort of the GW specialist games like Necromunda, Mordheim, Blood Bowl, that kind of thing. We played most of them at the club, but Mordheim just. Sorry, I'm just being distracted. There was an awful pong of the devil's salad just come wafting in through my window, and it absolutely stinks. Oh, God. But yeah, I would say Mordheim. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so for you, it's a game you always wanted.
Yes,
you played when you had the chance to. Basement, hello, dude. How you doing? He's saying not getting into it 40 years ago.
There you go. Yeah.
What about you, Dom? Have you got a regret? Or do you no regrets?
Je ne regrette rien. I don't know. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I could say that I wish I'd carried on gaming through the sort of 20 odd years where I stopped largely gaming, but then I would have missed seeing my kids and doing things with them and what have you, so that wouldn't have been a good thing, in all honesty. I don't know. I honestly don't know that there's much. I wish I'd built. I'd tell you the one thing I do. I wish I'd got a proper room like this, not necessarily this big, but a proper place where I could just have my hobby and feel it was my space to do what I want to do and have all the crap I want. that would definitely be something I wish I'd done sooner.
Yeah. Do you think
it's in the garage with the washing machine and the freezer and all the all the other crap?
Would you say it's enhanced? It's enhanced your hobby? Is it made?
Absolutely, absolutely. I love. I relax when I come up here, even though it's also where I work. But it just kind of just feels like it's my space. I don't let Elaine in here at all.
You raised the drawbridge. Yes,
definitely. She tries to come in every so often, and I have to bar her from entry. It is my space. It's messy. It's exactly how things are exactly where I want them. Not often always able to find them, but they're exactly where I want them. And I can just spread my stuff out and look at my toys. It's great. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that's the only thing I would have done. Now, if I could, I don't know whether I could have afforded it or had the opportunity earlier, but that's what I would have loved to have done. Yeah. What about you?
I guess I could probably say getting into historicals was probably. I wish I'd have done it sooner. I didn't. Just to answer Carl's question, which will probably see us get demonetized. It's a
recreational herb.
I would probably say not getting into historicals before, which I always wanted to do, but I knew the thing is as well that I was limited because I didn't have the space when I was younger. I was either living with my parents and I didn't have the room for it. When I was at university, there were other things that I needed to spend my money on, which was not what we just talked about. There was, beer was my Achilles heel. But I think getting into historicals and what broke me was I don't know if I would have gotten into it if it hadn't been for winning that competition, which is where I got the Napoleonic set. I mean, I bought into Bolt Action and Saga, but not in a big way. They were. I was still very much playing fantasy and 40k, and nothing wrong with that at all. But I feel like I found my wargaming home with historicals.
Isn't that bizarre that if you hadn't have won that, how things would have changed? But do you reckon you would have carried on being quite as obsessed with, kind of weird shit in the same way you are with the fantasy stuff, or the real stuff?
I'd already started disliking the way the rules had gone with fantasy. And of course, there's nothing to stop me playing earlier editions, but all the people I was playing with at that point were playing the latest stuff and didn't want to play the old stuff. I imagine what would have probably happened is I'd have probably stopped wargaming and done more RPG, tabletop, TTRPG stuff, or a lot more video gaming. So I could say that winning that competition set me on the right path. So I guess so. Let's see what we've got in here. Most people in here are saying not starting early enough. Shell shock, not buying more models before prices went up. What else have we got? Early life. What are we saying here? For Wargaming history, it was selling his GW 2nd edition Empire Army and had my High Elves front covered. Oh yeah, I do remember how those ones. So that comes up a lot. A lot of people regret selling their Empire stuff.
Yeah.
Eccentric Man says he swore that he would never play a GW game after the end times, but now plays Spearhead and enjoys it. And I keep hearing that as well, that Spearhead is the way to enjoy fantasy now.
What is Spearhead for those of us who are not?
So it's a game, let's call it a game mode of playing Age of Sigmar. Okay. And you have these Spearhead boxes, and some of them have got, they're essentially army in a box. That is what you take into the game. No more, no less. That's it. That's the box. That's what you're taking.
It's a ready-made army.
Yeah, and they're about 60 quid, I think. But some of them have like 10 models in, and there'll be like big giant things stomping around. Or you get the goblin ones, which have got like loads of models in and gribbly beasts and that. But I think they're all designed to really accentuate one way of playing, from what I understand, the way Spearhead works in the game, it's not just a simple just scrap. There are objectives that change. I think there's a deck of cards that you pull out, and the objectives can change in the middle of the battle. And from what I hear, a lot of people have gone into Spearhead because they could, rather than collecting one army, they just buy 4 boxes. They've got 4 different ones, and they've got 4 playing games. And you just say to someone, "I want a game of Spearhead," they just bring their Spearhead box along. So it seems to have gone down really well. I think the 40k version's called Combat Patrol.
Combat Patrol.
From what I understand, it's not a it's different, and it hasn't that. From what I understand, isn't as popular. But this Spearhead one seems to be a fun way, and there's more than just one box per army, if you like. There's a couple of undead ones. There's a couple of orc ones. So there might be an orc one that focuses on. There's a whole box of people riding squigs. There's like a whole squig cavalry box, which for a bit of a laugh. And then there's a different one. So yeah, that's what I've seen. But if I've got that wrong, please do say in the. I've been tempted because I was like, I'd just paint something up and I can use it in other games. I won't, and I know it's one of the ones that I need to just walk away from. Very kind. His regret was not finding a podcast.
Cheers, Ed.
I mean, it didn't get good until about episode 7 and 8.
That's when it went downhill.
That was when it went. That's when it got good, didn't it, Steve? That was the,
absolutely. I can't argue with that at all.
Okay, that's a good question.
I feel outnumbered.
You invited us.
I know. I feel stupid as well.
So I'm just catching it up. Matt's biggest regret is not having a Napoleonic army yet. It feels like the pinnacle of wargaming, and he's never gotten around to it. There is something quite satisfying. I still think of all the armies I've got, and bearing in mind how much I love my Wars of the Roses army, there's something about just seeing a full Napoleonic army on the table, battalions in in line, ready to go, or all those French attack columns with all of the colours and the drummers that really just.
I'm really pleased Matt said that, because in my mind I think exactly the same thing. I mean, I love loads of periods, I love lots of historical stuff, but actually seeing a mass Napoleonic game to me is the pinnacle of historical gaming. So I'm intrigued that everyone else thinks the same thing, because
oh no, Owen. His biggest regret was leaving his 40k Imperial Guard on the train.
Oh, flip.
Oh, no.
That's an expensive mistake,
Did
isn't it?
you get it back?
I
feel like we're opening a wound here. Oh, dear. Hello, Killer Kriegsman. How you doing? Nice to see you. Andy, friends of General Hage's only regret is all the time painting 15s when he should have been painting 28s.
Damn right.
Amen.
Damn right.
Amen.
28 is king, Andy. You know that.
Yeah. Let's see what we've got. What else have we got? I'd like to have learnt. Nathan says he'd like to have learned not to give a shit about what people thought much earlier, whether that's doing a hobby or how about painting build figures. I got to agree. Actually, that is a really good point.
Very good.
I kind of got to a point where I just stopped, caring. Like, why am I? And it wasn't necessarily about what people thought. It was like, you remember the arguments I have with Ken. The rule book is not going to come and get you. The winged monkeys from Games Workshop are not going to be well. Well, they might.
They might.
But about change. Unless you're really, and this obviously we chatted about tournaments. That obviously, if you're playing in a tournament or an organised play event, and there are basing conventions so that everyone is doing it the same way, that's completely understandable. But if you're not doing that, sod them. Just do what you want. It's your hobby, your way.
Completely agreed.
Notice how Martin didn't say battalions in squares. He doesn't believe in no squares are for chumps. I've just had a comment on one of my videos actually, which is which I got a reply to, which basically says any system of rules that doesn't give you an automatic reaction to a charge reaction to form square is fundamentally flawed. I was sort of just thinking about how I'm going to respond to it. I was just got to remember to do it. That's the
that's the thing. Yeah, just because the rules say you can doesn't mean you
it doesn't hold your hand. That's the it's like do you remember the old style sort of video games where you didn't have save points?
Yeah.
You didn't have save points, so you just had to, that's how I feel a little bit about the not forming square thing. You didn't do it, well, that's your fault.
I've been replaying Double Dragon, and
what a game!
You get 3 lives. I'm like, what is this? I remember playing it back in the day when I was a kid, but you get desensitized to having to go back to the beginning after 3 lives. But yeah, no, I can never see what you mean though.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. It definitely, I do think about it, but at the same time, like, I want to use this order on something else. I want to do some glorious charge. I don't want to form square. Andrew says his biggest regret was not realizing that the green stuff he got from his local shop as a kid had gone off, and that the green stuff wasn't actually terrible to use. Didn't kit bash as much for years. Shaco, biggest regret. Biggest regret: play games other people play or say I should like rather than what I like. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely the case.
Because he said squares are for winners. Yeah, winners, but also chumps.
Yeah,
but also chumps.
Have you not watched any of Martin's games?
Yeah, I won those games, and I didn't form square.
All right, fair enough.
That's how I was about to say that's how Wellington would do it, and then just remembered no, Wellington really did.
No, he wouldn't.
He did. But he also just did throw wave after wave of men at walls. Okay. Well, that was a good
it's
question.
interesting, isn't it? How many people regret kind of almost being. I guess it's part of an age thing, isn't it? Where you kind of, as you get older, you care less of a shit about what people think, particularly, but. You kind of almost being forced into doing something you don't want to do, or a period you want to. I don't know. It's just, I guess that is just part of growing up. As you get older, you're more inclined to do it. But I'm intrigued as well because I was expecting somebody to say something about feeling guilt or feeling unable to sort of share that they're into the hobby and that kind of stuff. But that seems to have passed a bit now.
Well, it does, doesn't it? We used to talk about that a bit. Ken said that he would have problems with it. I remember Miller saying as well, that he wasn't particularly comfortable with it. But do you think that's because in the 4 or 5 years we've been doing this, it's become more accepted generally, or do you think people just give less of a crap because they're getting older?
I think it's a bit of both, but I do think my youngest daughter, I mean, she's 25 this year, and she always describes it as the year, it's the time of the nerds, because she says she's a nerd, and she loves the fact that she can, play board games and do sort of things that traditionally, girls of her age wouldn't have done in the past, and it's like, she says it's the rise of the nerds, and I actually kind of agree in a way with her that I think it's partly the fact that people don't give a damn, partly because it's become a much more acceptable thing to do the sort of things we do, and people seem to be more interested in it.
Yeah,
partly.
Absolutely.
I think also it's just the sheer number of people doing it.
Yeah, I mean these days my team at work know what I do. They know I'm a nerd. I play with toy soldiers. All my friends know what I do. And I've got years ago, talking sort of turn of the sort of 1999, 2000, right about that time. I was a bit hesitant in telling people what my hobbies were. But now I couldn't give a crap. I'm actually quite proud of what I do. So times have definitely changed though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This just made me laugh. Philip said his biggest regret was not making my brother replace my huge 4th edition Warhammer army after he threw it away when I went to uni.
Oh,
I'm so glad I don't have siblings. That's we got. We got another one just quickly before we go over to news from Guy Bards, who first of all said he's been listening to the this Res's History podcast on Peter the Great and wanted to know how the Great Northern War project is going. It's going well. It's got 2 units to finish. I've just been waylaid slightly by something, but then he said, "Have the 3 of us ever done a project together other than Crackcon? And would we demo one at a convention?" And we've chatted about this before. We've done one project, which was for the Adepticon guys.
Oh yeah,
Saga Force, the charity thing. I don't think we've never done a we've never collectively, all three of us, been working on the same thing at the same time.
No.
So for example, Dom and I we'd be working on Wars of the Roses for a while together. Then Dom and Steve might be working on World War II together. I'll be doing me and Steve might be doing some 30k or 40k stuff on and off, and then Burrows and Badgers. Actually, Burrows and Badgers is probably
I think that's
probably the one
that we've all done, we've all enjoyed. It's because I've said it before, and I will say this to anyone: if you've not painted just a single Burrows and Badgers miniature, do it. Just buy one. Buy one. Buy a starter pack.
I'm going to say don't do it, because if you do, you'll buy more.
But you will buy more.
Oh no, we did do that. We did do the Christmas miniature painting.
That's very true. We did.
Yes,
we did.
Mind you, that was more to stitch each other up, wasn't it?
Well, no. Well, we did the one where we had the models 3D printed, and the guys 3D printed those for us, and we did those. We had the one the year before where I made Ken that command base.
Yeah.
And he's telling me he hasn't sold it. Didn't he make you some kind of orc thing?
He did, yeah, orc drummer.
And then you made Steve.
Yes, it was Conflict 47 with Couscous in the
with Couscous,
yeah. And then Steve made me nothing. He gave me the model a year later. Unpainted. Yes.
Season's greetings and all that.
It's not there. It's right there, actually. It's right there. It says waiting for. Actually, that segues us quite nicely into the news. We've got some really nice questions that have come up, so we'll have a look at those in a little while. Let me just find. It feels wrong if we don't do the little jingle before we go into the news. It's like, is it really the news? Well, it is. I'm going to say 60 people in a minute. It is awesome to have you all here with us. So thank you. Shall I start, Don? I've got some weird and wonderful things.
Yeah, I've only got one. So
oh, okay. Well, it's not loads. One of the things. So, following on from what we just said about the Bushido model that Steve didn't paint me and sent to me unassembled. So as well. There is a new Bushido.
Honestly, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care at all.
No, he doesn't care at all.
I was so I sat there I was like Tiny Tim without a Christmas present that year. There's a new group that's been released. I think these are for the prefecture of Ryu, but look at these. I really like the kind of very and these are like good guys, I think. And I can't remember what they're called.
Aren't they?
I can't remember what they're called now. But they are lovely miniatures. The Bushido ones. So these are. Hang on, bear with me a second. I should have written it down. I thought it would have been on it. So this is a themed warband for the prefecture of Ryu, and they're called Passing the Night. It's a creepy set of samurai. I mean, they're very Hellraisery. That's a complete force for you to use, so you don't need to add anything to it. That would be it. The idea is the samurai in the set are very powerful, and the twist here is they're trying to cleanse themselves of their shame, which slowly mounts up over the course of the game. If you can control the shame, you can then gain key advantages. However, bringing shame to the wrong miniatures can be utterly disastrous and mess with your plans. This is what On Tabletop are saying. It's good to have a bit of tactical puzzle to get your head around during play. But yeah, they are very cool. And those two big miniatures there are the funeral wailers, who tend to walk alongside this procession of the damned. In game, these work as support miniatures with a mixture of different abilities that boost your samurai. Tears of Dread. Oh, nice. So it's just wherever I sit, there's always people playing this. I think at Adepticon they have a fairly big tournament. I know there was when we went to Warfare. There was a tournament there as well. So, and I do love this game, and I just don't play it as much as I should. In fact, the last time I played it was at Crackcon. So that was 2 years ago. But anyway, that's coming out. So if you're looking for something a bit different, then that is there. Great Escape Games have previewed the upcoming release of the Mounted Gunfighters 2 set. So this is the the female Mounted Gunfighters. So this isn't on, as far as I'm aware, this isn't on Kickstarter. This is just on general release in June at some point. But these look cool, and I imagine it'll be pretty similar to the last release, which is essentially you get the ones on foot but mounted. You know, I don't think there's going to be any sort of huge change, but they got really good reviews on the mounted ones for the males. So they're essentially just completing the range, if you like, in that way. They've got mounted versions of everything, which is very cool. I know they've got some more plastic sets planned for the coming up as well. I thought this might interest a few people. WoFun, who make the plastic, they've released starter sets. And they're quite and for lots of different periods, and they're quite reasonably priced. I think, because I understand that they could be fair. People maybe thought that they were a tad on the pricey side. But look, so like this one here is an English Civil War starter set for people who want to try, and it's not just one army; it's royalist and parliamentarian. So those are at 28 mil size. If you go over to their website, they've got all sorts of sets. This is 50 quid.
That's not bad at all. That really.
So both sides, 50 quid
for both sides, yeah. And these are the acrylic ones. And so here, look, here's the 7 Years War one. And they've got like Hannibal, I think, on there. They had Saxons and Normans on there as well. So for people who, I know these are growing in popularity. People don't always want to paint up miniatures. I do, but anyway, I thought that was worth a shout.
Don't paint them in a windy room.
Yes. Oh well, these are acrylic. These ones aren't just laminate. These aren't what Ken did and just laminated, are they? And then the other news, which I suppose is fairly big, is GW announced a new edition of the Horus Heresy, which has had a mixed response, to be fair to say. This is the new starter set, the Saturnine starter set, with some of the biggest, chunkiest dreadnoughts and Terminators in the Saturnine armor. Anyway, there's a new set. I mean, I still really like the Horus Heresy and all the Siege of Terror and all of that. I really like the lore. I quite enjoy painting stuff up for this when I feel like it. But I do believe you do need to buy new. If you're going to play the new edition, you need new codexes and new, all of it. Because they've got expanded characteristics now. They've actually gone a bit deeper in this one. So there's it's gone a little bit. Some of it. The characteristics that they've reintroduced were ones that were in Rogue Trader.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if they work the same, but they're called the same. So, like, you don't just have leadership now. I think it's been broken down as like willpower, leadership,
cool,
and something else. It's worth looking at. It doesn't say there's a mixed response, but if you love the current edition, there's nothing to stop you playing that.
Just don't change if you don't like it.
There we go. That's what I saw.
I watched a bit of Tabletop's coverage from UK Expo and some of the interviews they were doing with stuff. I genuinely had no idea what half of the interviews they were talking about. I mean, literally, no idea what about these fantasy ranges and the weird. I just weird shit everywhere. It was great. I still watched it. It was great fun. They do a good show. They do a really good show. Anyway, have you finished? Sorry, I'll jump.
Yes, I have. Yes. What did you see?
The only one I saw, which I'll get the ancient wargamers amongst us moist as heck.
Oh yes, no, I know. Yes,
Aventine's back open.
They are.
For those who don't realise, Aventine, who probably produce the finest ancient figures you could buy, the guy who ran the shop, ran the company, is retired, but he sold on the range to. A chap called Ian. I don't know what his surname is, but he has now taken it all over. He has it all open, and so the Aventine website is now open.
I was perusing.
I imagine it has been swamped with orders by all the people who are desperate to spend their money on Aventine.
I've got a lot. The miniatures are lovely,
extraordinarily
really
beautiful. They're not the biggest range in the world in terms of how many figures there are, but they do. I mean, genuinely some of the nicest figures you will get.
Oh, the Caesarians. I've got the Romans with the covered shields.
Yeah,
which I still haven't painted up yet. And they've got the little wings. They've just put up there's Romans, Caesarian Romans, but wearing Greek style helmets.
Oh.
So if you wanted to have that, between the Pompeian forces and Caesar's forces, and you want the fact that Pompey, I think he had more in the east. I think he had more influence in the east.
Yeah, he was more from the east. Yeah,
you could mix in some of those to just differentiate a little bit more. But they are a cracking company. They really are. So
really good. So it's great to see. I mean, there's been a few companies lately. Sort of people are getting older and retiring, and some ranges have passed over to other companies, which is great.
Yeah,
have bitten the dust. So it's good to see something like Aventine is carrying
absolutely. On. James says that yes, Conflict 47 got
true.
New addition to that. I did try to. I was watching one of the videos about it, and then I kind of switched off because I was finding it quite hard to hear what was going on. But so no, I'm looking forward to hearing about that and the plastic sets. I think the multi-build mechs are going to be, or unless of course the
wasn't there some really big model that they unveiled at?
I don't know if it was if it was like one that's for sale. I think it was just they bought along like a quarter scale.
Oh, that wasn't. I wondered whether it was they were going full on. Big
I don't think so, but that could be pretty cool. Epic 46.
I am still kind of keen to have a go at that. I did start.
I did. It was still it's one of the funnest. Where's Steve gone? It's just melted.
It's obviously the effect of the funny weed outside.
Lionheart said yes. Vitrix did post that they've received the sort of the draft copies of Pillage, which will be out soon, and that's getting very interesting. James said he was very tempted by the Bushido stand at UK Games Expo.
Did I see James say he was there for 4 days?
4 days?
What the hell?
Matt says that Warhammer the Old World is getting a matched playbook and a rules errata to fix infantry. Is that like a free thing, or is it? Oh, I don't know. A matched playbook won't be free, will it? But I do assume the errata is. You can't make someone pay for an errata, although I'm sure some people would find a way. No, that's cool. Excellent. I want to see what some of the other ones. Yes, you're right. He said 4 days. Mad.
Bloody hell.
Eccentric Man said he watched my Peaky Blinders video and it's given him a cunning plan for a World War II small skirmish game for the invasion of England in 1939. I'll have to paint those up. I quite want to try out the Lewis gun.
Ken's got those. Is it you's got the armed nuns and
he's got his
and all that sort of stuff.
His Operation Sea Lion demo game that he's put on a few times. It looks brilliant. It just strikes that period so well. I think he's got Captain Mannering in his chaps there as well.
I remember the video about it. I thought it was him. Yeah, that's brilliant.
I've just lost a comment because I pressed the wrong button. But Wargamer of Kent essentially asked us that he was thinking of making some videos, and essentially where to start. So let's open that one out. Look, I mean, what was each? Can you remember your first video and what it was?
Yes, yeah.
What was yours, Steve?
It was a review of this vehicle. It was the first one ever was just a look at the kit, how I'd painted the camouflage, etc. It was awful. I'll be honest. It was filming a crappy old webcam. Well, actually, the crappy old webcam I'm using now, and I was using Windows Movie Maker, and the lighting was terrible. The audio was appalling, but it was quite possibly the bravest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
There we go. Ian's joined us. Hello,
Ian.
Oh, Ian. I can't remember what my first video was.
I'm going to go on your channel and look.
I've done nearly 600 of the damn thing. It's ridiculous.
I'm going to find it.
The first video I remember watching of yours was about bolt action. It was bolt action.
I did do one about going. I was going to a competition, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And I just was sort of talking about the list I was planning to use.
Yeah,
you're right.
You did. You unboxed the Saxon Saga Warband.
Oh, did I? Was that the very first one I did? Well, thank you.
Yep. Okay. You did. Then you did a competition army, a cheater's guide to painting World War II Japanese, and then you did some bolt action. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Excellent.
But I think, yeah, I honestly think so. Don't get stressed about doing it.
No,
just do it. I mean, there's a guy who does YouTube videos about how to be good at YouTube videos, and he just says to get on and film it. And actually, that's the single best piece of advice you can get. Is just get on and do it. When you start doing it, you're going to make all kinds of cock-ups. It's not going to be as slick as you want it to be, but it doesn't matter. Just get it done, and you'll get better as you go along. Some of us don't, like me, but I just think. Also, I think, have a clear perspective on what you want to do with it.
What you want to say.
Yeah. Mine's always been just my hobby journey. It's just what I do, what I'm working on, what I'm playing, nothing different. And I think that, to me, that's the best way. It's just being very honest about what you're doing. But,
yeah. I think that's really good. I mean, my first video was looking at the contrast paints and how to paint historicals with them. And that was I only made it because I couldn't find one. So I just sat there with a stopwatch and I filmed it on my phone and just sort of timed how long it took me to paint horses because I hated painting horses. And that was essentially it. And I just want to find a new way to do this. I think, if you know what what you want to do is, if it's an unboxing, I don't ever script my videos. I maybe have a few bullet points about things to talk about, like if it's an unboxing or a review or something like that, then you're going to want to know where you can get it, how much it costs, and when it comes out. So and who makes it. There's nothing worse. I'll be doing a video and then all of a sudden you go blanks. You're trying to remember who sculpted it, which is like a bit of key info because you want to credit the person who's done the sculpt. So I wouldn't ever. I know some people do. Some people script out whole long videos. That was never for me. I just have a sheet of paper with a Sharpie where I've just written down a few bullet points like 50 quid, Paul Hicks, and halflings. something like that. And then if you what's the right word? Robin's just said here, don't beat yourself up if you do a video and if you think it's gone rough, don't let it put you off. We all get it, and the thing is, someone will point it out. They will. They just do. You just got to sort of accept that.
No, but a little bit of a thick skin with some of it. But
you do. But you also have
The other thing I would say is be realistic. We're in the hobby where, especially if you're on the historical side of things, you're never going to be, a 10,000, 100,000 sub person. If you get if you get to 1,000 doing really well, and it takes a long time to get the viewer numbers up.
Yeah.
So don't expect miracles overnight. Just do it because you enjoy doing it.
That's
rather than actually making money or doing anything from it.
These days, I don't even look at my numbers. I just don't. I just put a video out and that's it. I don't, because when I first started doing it, I thought that's what people were meant to do when you did YouTube. You were hyper focused on your numbers, and I was like, so I was looking at it, I was like, and I just thought it was so detrimental because I found myself sort of chasing the views rather than just doing a video because I like what I'm doing and I want to show people, what I've been up to. I don't even look at them anymore because I think it's one of the worst things. I mean, unless you're planning it as a major part of your hobby, it's dangerous to get fixated on the numbers.
No, I agree. I mean, you can, obviously on the flip side, you'll swiftly find out which videos people watch.
Oh yeah.
And so if you're putting loads of effort into making a video that you're about a subject that you don't particularly enjoy, it will probably come through in the video.
Definitely.
And it could be the most interesting or new historical wargaming or just general wargaming product. But if people can tell if you're not really into it. If you my thing would be find something that you are. Oh God, hello. They all want to know if you won, but I haven't told them. I said it's secret.
Can't tell.
Were you about to say I'm going to take it to my grave? Yeah, that was like a horror. Did you don't want to say that? Oh, thank you very much. Just bought wine.
Oh, very nice.
I'm confused. Feel like I've done something. There's wine.
Maybe I've done something.
Okay, that's off-putting. If I find something that you're passionate about, if that's like Wars of the Roses or bolt action or some specific period in history, share that with people, because then people will be interested. If you're enthusiastic about a period or a game, that will get people enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
As well, that's how you get people.
If it's something that interests you, there'll be somebody else out there that is interested.
Yeah.
It's just
I know people used to say that I was a bit giddy when I did Turn Up 28 videos.
That was one word we used to.
Because it was, I mean, I've not made a Turn Up 28 video in almost 2 years now. But I genuinely enjoyed those videos because it was doing my first Turn Up video. I thought, no one's going to watch this because it's completely weird. And people did watch the Turn Up videos. And it was great seeing other people out there destroying Napoleonic figures. So I really need to get back to that, because I did enjoy the Turn Up videos. But again, like Martin said, if genuine enthusiasm like that, it does come across in people's videos. Yeah,
it does. Absolutely. I agree. He said, thanks, better get on with it. Do, and then post it. And
post it, stick it up on the Facebook
got a
page.
Good community in here, and also, if you want any feedback, like genuine feedback, not like kind of feedback we give Ken, but if you want that,
does Ken have a channel?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I had to re-download our thumbnail, and I noticed it still said Miniature Wargaming Warriors on it, and I couldn't be asked to go and change it. So I thought I was just leave it. I was even considering I was like, should I play around with this? I was wondering if I could design one that looked a little bit like the Lord of the Rings poster, where you got everyone down the bottom and then you got the tower, and on top of the tower, instead it did like the Eye of Sauron, we had Ken. Let us know how it's going. But yeah, it's Paul said he used to enjoy making videos, but the hassle of moving stuff downstairs to film and setting it up and moving it back ended up not being asked. And I remember in COVID, let me say, we've all got different memories of COVID, and there are some bad times in COVID. But do you remember how many channels appeared? Because people had fun, they were sharing their hobby, and it was awesome. And then, I still see videos pop up every now and then from people, and it's nice to see how they're getting on. Martin said his first wargaming video he watched was Martin versus Haley teaching her and be default me how to play Black Powder. Yes, and I regret every second of it. They're all going on about who won the game.
It's interesting, isn't it? There does seem to have been a bit of a drop off of some of those channels that you're talking about there. There's a few that don't seem to have posted videos for a long time. I think I saw Kitchen Wargamer the other day just saying that he was stopping doing it. Just yeah. And the thing is, I think, like everything, it's cyclical, right? Everyone has lives that put pressure on you different ways, and if you need to stop doing it for a while or it becomes hard work, don't do it. Come back to it when you got a bit more time. It's just the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the worst thing is you get forced into doing videos, and I think I was guilty of that a while early on. I kind of felt, I must get a video. What the hell am I going to do? And you kind of
don't.
But it was
do
rubbish.
Not set a timetable for videos. Just do them when you feel like.
Do them when you're ready. Yeah,
that's what I do. I mean, I tried doing that, and and I hated it.
It's funny, all the
Absolutely.
YouTube influencing people that tell you how to do YouTube as a profession, they always say you should stream, you should put videos out on a fixed day regularly so your audience know they're coming. And I thought, bugger that. But yeah.
I don't think I could do that because I've always thought that it should never be a chore. It should never be something that you feel you have to do. That's what work is. I mean, I have we have to work. I don't want painting toy soldiers and building scenery to ever become a chore. And the same goes to videos. I mean, I think one year, was it last year or the year before? I only made 13 videos the entire year because I couldn't be. I know it sounds bad. I couldn't be bothered. There was nothing that I was doing that I thought was particularly video worthy. So I thought, I'm not going to do a video for it.
Don't do it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, he's just said it was to show off finished projects, painting progress, battle reports. Yeah, absolutely. Project updates are great.
Yes,
they really are. It's fantastic, and also it gives you ideas. When I watch some of Dom's updates, he's like, oh, why don't I do that? And also, he's found this model that I now really want. I'm going to go and find it. But absolutely. Ian just said your success has been due to the natural flow on the channels. It makes you all relatable and easy to like. You're sharing your hobbies and taking us along, and it makes an enjoyable time out for the day to day.
Oh, thanks, Ian.
That's a good way to put it.
That's
what I like about other people's stuff as well. To be honest, it's just them enjoying now.
Me too.
Do you know what I love? That? You know when you come across a channel you've never seen before, gets randomly recommended.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
And you just think, where you find they've got like 40 videos, and you're like, where's this channel been? And you just binge watch. I just love that.
I've just seen Matt's comment. I see Ken less as the Eye of Sauron and more like the sun from the Teletubbies. Who's good at making memes? Who's good at making memes?
Somebody do that one.
Well, Ken should hopefully be joining us again. He's back from his caravanning holiday, so he will hopefully be joining us next week, though no promises. Where are we? Dave Ben just asked how is streaming different in approach. I mean, it's live, so if we screw up, then it gets pointed out to us live and in the comments. And I think we were all quite lucky because we all got on. That was the main thing, is that we bounced on. So we were just doing this. And that's kind of a little bit like what tonight is. You know, we're just chatting. We're an hour and a half in, and we've just been chatting and just letting the conversation go. The whole point where we started picking a topic was just so that there was something essentially for us to argue about for 2 hours.
Yeah. Put a frame around it.
Yeah.
But that was one of the main things, is that it was just basically essentially 4 strangers, and it just worked. It really did just work.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think streaming is, you got the immediacy of it.
Yeah.
And you can't. I think like you say, you can't really overplan it too much. I think you've got to have that chemistry between you. Otherwise, it doesn't work. We've all sat on streams and watched people doing things, and it's like, oh my god, this is painful. So I think I don't know. But then we've been doing this a bloody long time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's good to have some, again, a little bit like with the bullet points. It's good just to have some backup questions. I've done some streams that, you know, on my own, and I've just got a couple of things. You know, I'll set up the painting, and I'll go along. I haven't done one for a while. I'll probably do one at some point, but I have just got, you know, just a few things to talk about or ask. It's a bit weird when you're doing it on your own because you can't hear anyone, just talking to yourself. I had my earphones in the last time I did one. I'm like, why have I put my earphones in? There's no one here.
I'm too chicken to do a stream by myself. I really am. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't feel comfortable. I don't know. Definitely outside my comfort
Last time I did one, I had Dom heckling me in the chat.
I did. It's true. I was drinking. Sorry.
You were, yes. You were. How often? I only said how often do we do hobby without the camera? Do you mean with each other, or do you mean that sounds weird? Do you mean in our personal hobby? without, I mean, we meet up on every Monday night. 2 hours is probably, I mean, I'd quite happily chat to these guys and just switch the camera on if there's some painting, but we've all got different responsibilities and different things in the evenings. Outside of that, I would say, the majority of my hobbying is done off camera. There's battle reports. I probably play 75% of my games are on camera, are filmed, if you like. The other ones aren't. I've recently been playing a lot of Here's a Ruckus with my mate Kev. He's just moved into his new house, and we've played 3 games, and it's hilarious. So we love it. Right up our obviously I've already played it. I've played it a lot now, and I've introduced him to it. And like last game, we played a game last week where we were trying to find the 9-fingered monk on the battletop, which is we had 5 monks, and you just take a normal deck of cards. You take 4 10s out the deck and 1 9, and you shuffle them up. And every time you get near a monk, you draw one of these cards, and if you draw the 9, then that's the 9-fingered monk. You've got to get him, like he's got some secret information. But when you pull out the one of the cards, you could move a monk. So you could move like the target monk closer to you, or you could do what I did, which is I kept on moving monks in the way of his archers. But as soon as he knew which monk it was, he was like, I don't care about these ones. And then the peasants came erupting out of the cart. But so I think it is nice to sometimes have games that you don't film. Or some board games as well, because otherwise, again, it becomes a bit of a job. That being said, the thing has done so many battle reports now. I just like capturing those funny moments, the moments that people like, where I'm getting my ass kicked, or Robin's cannon blows up and takes half a castle with it. I'd be gutted if I played a game and something like that happened and I wasn't able to share it. I think, yeah. Mini Warm-Up has just said when he did his first stream, it was like standing in the middle of a dirt road and watching the tumbleweed roll across the road. Oh dear, no.
You know what, mate? When we started this up, I mean, if we got 3 people watching it, we were doing well,
like this,
to be honest. So yeah,
there we go. We have the perfect. There we go. No, absolutely. Do you remember? I mean, because we would, bless them, the people who were here from someone would open 3 different tabs on their computer and tune into each stream.
Oh God, yeah, that we didn't make it easy for people either, did we? No, you're right.
We didn't make it easy for ourselves. I remember.
Because we did it over Discord, didn't we, as well?
That was crap. I hated that so much.
Yeah, but I had to go online with Ken when you asked me to join the stream. I had to go online with Ken for a 20-minute instruction how to do this.
Yes,
and
it was like that.
That's the first time I met him, and then 3 years later, I was his best man. And there's this guy telling me this sort of really, really enthusiastic, giddy ginger wargamer telling me like how to set up OBS and Discord and how to download all these things, and asking me loads of questions about Napoleonics and all this kind of stuff and what my background was, and I was getting interrogated.
I can only apologise.
I thankfully didn't have to go through that initiation.
How come you got out of it?
Yeah, I think that there was a bit of downloading stuff, but I wasn't given the whole 9 yards about Napoleonics.
I don't know. It's a weird old thing. It's again, this is I mean, what, 142 people watch, 140 odd people watching at the moment, and literally when we started, if you got 1 or 2 people, you were just like, wow, somebody listening. So it's just extraordinary, really. Which reminds me,
is there anybody there? It was like that.
It was, and it literally. I mean, I think the only reason, and probably that's why the format actually works quite well, is because, we love having people chipping in and being involved, and part of it is having the interaction with you lot in the audience as well. But it's also, the fact is, if there was nobody here, we'd still sit here and talk crap to each other about exactly the same way. So in many ways, it's sort of academic, really. So, and I think that's what's happened over the years. We haven't changed the format because it's just basically just us talking to each other, and then look, there's 140 people watching it.
What I always like, I know a lot of people have said for them, it's just like sitting down and hobbying with your mates. And to me, that's what it's always been. It's been I know we call it the podcast, but it's just always been it's just a hobby session, a crafting session, a painting session with your mates, and you talk a bit of crap. I miss Ken.
I mean,
you say that.
I mean,
no,
then you'll have him back, and everyone will go, "Oh God, does he have to come back?"
Do you know what's missing off there? I miss Ken. Said the Travel Lodge. Never.
They save a lot on their breakfast. He's not there. That's for sure.
He doesn't go there anymore, does he? He goes to Tim Hortons now.
That's true. Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I did try out, and that was quite nice. But we've just had just a couple more questions. Nick said, "What unit or figure would you most regret losing from your collection?" I can tell you one that I have lost that I regret, and it was the original. Actually, there's two, and they're both metal GW minis, and I got rid of them. And I didn't even sell these on eBay. I think I might have just thrown them out when I was like a teenager and went, "Oh, I don't need this anymore. I found girls," or something like that. And then that would have obviously ended in tears anyway. The original metal and the gash, the one that really sort of like the derpy one,
the chunky one,
yeah, the derpy one, and the original Avatar of Cain, with the bloody hand and the sword.
Yes, and
I'm pretty sure I threw them in the bin.
Oh.
Which is the equivalent of just throwing away. Oh God, I don't even want to think about it. I might as well just get £100 and just put it in the bin, put it in the shredder. What about you guys? Anything you would regret losing the most, or that you have lost that you really regret?
The figure I would regret losing is possibly the oldest miniature in my collection. I've showed it before. It's that it's an Adeptus Mechanicus figure from 1988.
Okay.
It was one of the first figures I ever painted. It was one of the first figures I ever painted, and I painted it in washes or like greens and golds. It looks terrible, but I'll never repaint that. I'll never strip it. It's just for me, it's a reminder of where I've come from to where I am now in the hobby, and it's just a fantastic looking miniature. I'd love to have my first 40k army back though. My first 40k army was Blood Angels. It was the exact Blood Angels army from my very first White Dwarf. It was White Dwarf 141. Andy Chambers playing Jervis Johnson, and I think that might have been August, September for Christmas. It's like, what do you want for Christmas? I was like, I want the Blood Angels. So they ordered me this entire Blood Angels army, and I painted it atrociously. So. But yeah,
that's the only way. What about you, Dom? What would you hate to lose, or have you lost that you wish you hadn't?
I mean, I lose things regularly in this room, and then I have to go hunting for them. Can't bloody find them, and then suddenly find older figures I thought I didn't have, which is kind of what happens.
That's how you're going to be found one day.
I will be. I'll be. They'll just be. Yeah. But I think I mentioned it before. We talked about what would what if this place went up in flames? What would be the first thing I'd grab before I ran out? It'd be my Swedish Napoleonic army. I'd still love that army. I would grab it, and that would be definitely that Swedish Napoleonic army. I don't play it as often as I should. I didn't even paint it. Mad Sean painted it for me.
Oh, so the one Sean did for you?
Yeah, most of it he did. Also a chap called Jack who does Outpost miniatures. He painted a few for me as well. Excellent painter if you need one. Commission painter, by the way. That would be the one I would grab, because it was the one I always wanted to get. I'd like Napoleon. Always wanted to play Napoleonics and have big Napoleonic armies. But I never had the money to buy the metals that you need to get a Swedish army, because you can't get them in plastic. And so I finally did, bought it, got it nicely painted. So that would be the one, definitely. To be an army.
Good question. It is a good question. Julian has got a message for you, Steve. He said he asked in your Bolt Action video about turning it into a company level game.
Oh, yeah.
Any more thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I responded to that. I said, I mean, with the current way you build armies and Bolt Action, there's nothing stopping you from doing it at company level. I mean, you've got a big enough table and a big enough collection, you could certainly, elevate it. I mean, like I mentioned in my response, I do Bolt Action at 15 mil as well, and I can imagine it'd be easy to sort of raise that to company level. If you're going to do it, it'd be pretty impressive on the tabletop. My mate Ian, he would probably love to do company level games because he just likes big, massive games. Whereas I'm more of a bijou gamer. I like
Bijou.
Bijou.
Careful, if you use words like that or bespoke, you get called a woke tosser, like I did in my video.
I must apologise for using weasel speak. So,
oh yeah, sorry, yeah, I've got that. Yeah, weasel speak. Yeah,
weasel speak.
Yeah, if you're making videos as well,
yeah.
you'll know you're doing it right when you just piss off everybody.
Like
when you have like that. That was a.
But yeah, Julian, I'll have a more a think about it, and I mean, like I say, 15 mil would be easier, well, to build probably and probably cheaper as well. But the building blocks you've got now with 3rd edition bolt action, you could easily do it. Like I say, it'd look impressive, but the games are probably my mate would love it. A game of bolt action takes 4 days to be like his ultimate time of playing bolt action. He just loves massive games. But yeah, let me.
As Paul's always thought of you as compact and bijou.
I'm compact. All right, that's the nicest thing anyone has ever said about me ever. Thank you, Paul. I love you, and I want to have your
ever, if I'm honest.
No, anyone.
You're about 12 foot tall. You can't be compact, for goodness sake.
Don says he doesn't regret. I don't regret any of my GW hobbying. It does have great lore. I don't regret any of it because I think you have a good foundation to things. They do have a awesome lore. Eccentric Man, he says, before I retired, I was a police officer and never hid my wargaming, but I had a number of friends who were colleagues and gamers but would never admit to others in the job. Yeah, it's the same. I chat to people on site where builders and security guards and stuff, and they don't admit to it. And then there's me and my my business partner and us, and we'll be chatting about Middle Earth role playing, the old ice merp, the old ice games, and rolling to the percentage chance that you're going to be able to move 10 feet and stuff like that. And then there'll be some people staring at us. Martin says he joined the hobby for the glamour and the girls. You better go chatting to Matt, right?
That working out then.
He'll help you out there.
Owen said, I'm glad you all started making videos, but why? It's already covered it. I mean, I don't know, it's just an extension of my hobby now.
Yeah. I mean, very quickly, me and my mate had set up a Facebook page, not even a group, just a page, because we were painting. We were only sharing our stuff with each other, and I was like, "There's loads of us out there, so let's start a page." And then, back in 2018, I was like, "Do you know what? I'm going to start making YouTube videos, because it sounds kind of cool." And at the time, I've been watching. I mean, Ken, the Eccentric Man, I binged his entire channel. The chaps from Tabletop Battle in Norway, I binged all of their
I love
videos.
that stuff. Yeah.
Travis at Tabletop CP, again, watched all his bolt action videos, and I thought these guys are really enjoying themselves. I want a part of this, so I took the plunge.
My the big influence on me doing. Do you remember the Black Powder videos by a chap called is it Nathan Pancake? And he used to make them in his shed, and I loved his videos.
Was it Pancake Pain?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
And he did awesome ones. I don't think he makes videos anymore, but he did lots of Black Powder videos, and the inspiration, but he did a video with his son, a Black Powder video, which was, I showed that to Haley, going, look, he got his son played a game. And this was in lockdown, and I was like, look, I've got no one to play. Oh, no one will play a game with me. And, then she, I think just basically to get me to stop bitching, played a game with me, and then actually ended up enjoying it, which I think threw her. But then, Dom, you've always said yours has been like a log of your hobby, and you're just gaming.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think I mentioned before, so, I used to, when I wasn't really figure gaming for a long period, I did videos of World of Tanks and doing that sort of thing, and that got me started in doing videos. And I actually, like you say, I almost enjoyed the process of doing videos and doing bizarre thing, just sitting and talking to a camera, which is not my natural thing at all. but actually really enjoyed doing it. And it was that got me started. And then when I got back into the hobby, I thought, you know what? Why don't I just record what I'm doing? And so that's really all I do. Just literally record everything to do with the hobby. And people seem to watch it. So it's a weird thing. I love it. I love doing the videos. I think I don't feel pressure into doing them.
No.
I sit and sometimes and I think, oh, that's a great idea for a video, and I'll do it. And other times, a week or so will go by and I haven't done anything. Just that's the way it is. Same with the hobby, really.
Andy said if the house was on fire, he would save the Montrose Scots because there's no way he's doing all that tartan again.
That's entirely justifiable, Andy. I can understand that.
Lionheart says
he had tartan paint, don't you? You just paint.
You do, yeah. You just pop. Just dip them out. Lionheart had the 3 Robin Hood characters in the Bretonian range and lost them. And he looked on eBay and they're £108. Oh, yeah, feel that pain. Lazy Pirate Painting. He had that Nagash miniature. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that pain. That one was so much better than that new one. Like the big derpy Nagash was amazing.
big skull face.
The Citadel made a Chaos toilet mini and made an excellent painting of it, and then some bugger stole it.
Chaos toilet. No. Martin, it sounds like that toilet you were in a couple of months back.
Oh God, that one in that one in Lowestoft. It's not often I don't do. Oh, that was grim. That was awful.
Oh, that was hilarious.
You know what? I'm sorry. If there's anyone here who lives in Lowestoft, I'm not. But we just had this job and we went there. I was only there for 2 hours, and I was so depressed and angry when I left. And then we went into Starbucks to get this coffee, and that toilet was. I just came out, and I felt like I was in like the world's worst, like a nightclub toilet at the end of the night, after everyone was been throwing up and using it, and I'm like, with Starbucks. I didn't even like Starbucks. I just got in there because it was somewhere that I knew. So,
when you sent those photographs, I was eternally grateful you couldn't.
I just like to clarify, I only sent like a photograph of like just the general sort of like toilet. I wasn't like taking photos of what was in it. And it was the sink. It was the sink.
Oh, that sink was disgusting.
Black and like I nearly felt I had to like the mold that was growing there had been there for so long. I felt I had to ask its permission to take its photo. I was like, can I have your consent, please? Oh God, yeah. At least it's the right side of the Suffolk Norfolk border up the place. I went back to the hometown. I went back to Cambridge the other day and felt significantly poorer when I went round the town. Although I actually managed to find a pint in Cambridge for £6, which I was quite impressed with. Yes, pretty much. It was the train spoon toilet. Should we have a little look at some of the pictures that people have sent in?
Yeah.
So, guys, down below is the link to the Facebook page where if you're not a member, come and join us. It's a place to share your hobby. If your hobby includes YouTube videos and that, just share them on there. We're always happy for that. If you've got other bits and bobs or you've got streams, just send us a message. Let us know you're doing it, and we'll be happy to share it and promote it. Just let us know you're going to do it. Likewise, photos, questions, all of it. And we like to see what people are up to. And there has been some cracking work recently that has been going on in there. This was amazing. Look at this. Alex put up this. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I like that.
Look at the camo.
Wow.
That was so cool. I love the helmet also on the
that little touch with the helmet on the post. That is brilliant.
It's absolutely awesome. Really nice, and really nice work on the base and the foliage as well. That's come up really, really nice. Excellent stuff. Andrew, these are his old world. He said this is the first time he's used contrast paint.
Wow.
Look at those.
They've turned out so well.
Wow.
Yeah, lovely, aren't they?
That's
really nice. Blues. I really like the blonde sort of beards because blonde can actually be quite hard. I find that quite awkward to paint sometimes. I go for kind of like a buff bone base and then sort of like darken it down. But that really nice, really nice. Granaprigo has been doing now. I believe these are from Foundry. These gladiators.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. Do you reckon we're going to see the Spartacus expansion for Hail Caesar? Is it the Servile War? Is that what it's called? The second Servile
I think it's inevitable they'll do that because it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's just if you're going to do anything Roman, they'll do something gladiators.
Because it's all still around that period, isn't it? Caesar and because he was quite young in that, so. And Crassus was obviously involved in that. Ian, Flags of War, if you're still watching, he painted a barn, shared the barn.
Nice.
Oh, it's just very taken with the barn,
isn't it? That's really good.
I mean, as far as barns go, that's a good barn. I really like the wood effect. Really nice. This is the Renedra one, I assume.
It looks like it. Yeah,
it looks like the one. Yeah.
Really nice.
I like
lovely
the moss on the roof as well. Very nice.
Be good to catch up with Ian at some point, actually.
Yeah. Get him back on. Ian, if you're in the chat, come back on and talk about what you've been up to. Within reason, obviously.
Lewis. I mean, this is amazing. Look, he's got like the beer. I love this. Look, he's got like the beer kegs, like a beer hat. I love it. I absolutely love it.
What?
Absolutely awesome. Cracking. I don't know.
Is that meant to be nacho cheese?
Do you know what? I hadn't even questioned what that was. I was more taken with the beer keg, beer hat.
So I associate nachos and beer, so I was assuming that's.
I think it's got to be. It's got to be nacho. It's got to be.
It's very cool.
Got to be nacho cheese.
Now, Kevin paints a lot of cool stuff and he posts it. So I kind of feel like. No, I'm not quite almost doing his stuff justice, but I love this. He did a donkey. I was like looking at Eeyore there, going, "That's ace," because he does all of we've seen the
that is brilliant.
But I was like Eeyore there is fantastic. But I was just really impressed with the different tones on the donkey. If I can tell you straight away that I would just paint it grey, slap a wash on it, hit it with some varnish.
Me too.
Yeah, really nice. Mark has done some Hussites. I think he's going to. He said the Big Bill Hooks bash, and he was adding these into his army.
I like those.
He's a cracker. He's a good cracking painter, Mark. Really nice, really nice. Nick down the road from me. Look at him. He's got some Romans. Look at the cohorts gathering. I know, but love it. I thing is, I love how they look. I love seeing them all together. But I know what you say, Dommy. It can be kind of soul crushing.
I love the Roman history. I'm fascinated by the Roman army and what they, the conquests they did. But just something about the army, just when it was a tabletop army. I don't know what it is. That's not to say those aren't impressive. They are very impressive. But don't know. Weird. Carry on.
How are you getting on with your epic ones? Did you put them away again?
I keep getting them out, looking at them, and put them back down again. Honestly, where I'm getting on with them.
Trust me. Excellent. But no, they're awesome. What are you planning on doing, those? Are you painted up an opposing army? Are you doing the Dacian Wars or something?
Well, that's my epics or.
No. Nick's. I
Nick.
meant Nick's ones here. I assume they're the Victrix ones, so they're early Imperial.
Like
Paul
planning a Dacian battle this week. It's Friday.
Oh, Dacian's got. So you got lots of Falk. Is it Falks? The Falks?
Falks. Whatever. 200 choppers basically to you.
Paul's done a load of scatter, which is always nice to see.
Love me a bit of scatter. That's awesome.
Steve, you're gonna have to get that barricade set from Wargames Atlanta.
Yes, it looks rather tasty, to be fair.
Yeah, but that's awesome. Useful in so many ways. Philip, so he's got these mounted sergeants, lots of crossbows, and it's very nice and useful in so many games.
Yeah,
I do feel like we are getting inundated with medieval games, and it's glorious. Glorious. Stick your World War II. I've had enough of that for the things like that. There was a period where there was just stuff coming out for World War II all the time. It's my time now. Time of mud. Well, actually, there's some text. There's mud over it. Anyway, no, those are really nice. Very, very cool. Now, Robin shared this, and it is a 40k model, but this is his Blood Angel.
Very nice.
Captain. He's got the classic second edition backpack flag from Tycho. And he did say to me that he really liked the fact that the shoulder pad here on the on this Marine was actually an imitation of that flag, which obviously the flag is donkey's old now. What I really like on this is the base. I really like the dusty like look of it. So I imagine there's been lots of pigments used there, but that's very cool. Richard, it's been painted up. Obviously, we've got lots of things for the Barons' War and that whole period at the moment. There's a lot of that going on.
Very nice.
Very cool. Lots of lovely heraldry. I really like the bishop on the right hand side as well. Langdon. Very cool.
They're footsore metals, those aren't they?
I think they are. Yeah. I mean, and yeah, I mean they've got such a range now. So. And you own most of it, I think, in Kickstarter.
I do. Although most of them have been repurposed into the Bruce's in Ireland project.
That's where we will find them. So Steve as well. So he had a game. So these are Empire troops fighting against ghouls, I think it is. But he's playing. I can't remember. Is it called Shadow Spear, Shadow Storm, which is the fantasy version of Hail Caesar? That was done. I think it was done on Kickstarter, I want to say. I've never played it. I've seen some bits and bobs about it. I'm in the Facebook group. But yeah, that looked cool. I just like seeing battle lines smash into each other. I had to share this one. Steve. I mean, what else do I need to say? Really? I mean, this is just one corner of the table. I just like to add.
I mean, the battles he's fighting again. He's running that series of campaigns with I've forgotten his name. The Australian chap who does really good stuff. Check Your Leader. And he's doing these combined battles, imagining the Waterloo campaign differently, and it's just the two of them are just unhinged. Frankly, they're just troops after troops after troops. There's battalions of this and. It's just, just awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. It looks awesome. Yusuf, done a couple of ghosts, but I like how he got the leaves and kind of like they're floating up.
Yeah,
very cool. I do those night again. Say what you will about GW, but some of their models are cracking, and I think the Nighthorn range that they did, the Ghost range, was fabulous. All the sort of negative space that they use on those models. Is just really cool. Very, very nice. Christopher, I knew you'd like this one, dog. Nice.
There's the boys.
There you go.
I love that command stand. That is brilliant. The colour on those reds. Wow. And then
there you go.
Of course.
Yeah, down. But those are they 60th because they've got the red.
Oh, they are 60th. You're quite right. Well spotted. Yes, because they've got the reds. So they're the 60th
same level of
loyal Americans or something.
Yeah, I don't quite have the.
Take note of that, Don. Loyal Americans. Just saying that.
Jesus. And then I think is that everybody? Oh, that was everybody. Oh, there we go.
Oh, cool.
But do head over to the Facebook group and have a look. That is time, gentlemen. That is taking us to the end. It's been a really good, just fun to have a chat. And not have to worry about doing any homework before the next stream. Dom is abandoning us next week. Where are you doing next week?
I'm off to Cornwall with family.
Can you not go up St Michael's Mount with your camera? And
we'll go up St Michael. Yeah, definitely. And you can guarantee that the weather will change next week, so you can thank me for that. But yeah, definitely. So I'll be back the week after, but definitely.
So it was your week the week after. So next week we're on Steve's channel for as yet undecided topic, and we may or may not have a Ken. The week after that, we are with a Dom for an as yet undecided topic. Then the week after that, we're back with me for an as yet undecided topic. And the week after that, we're back with Steve for an as yet undecided topic because no one replied to the message. So
you didn't even see the message.
There we are. There we are. So anyway, thank you so much for spending your evening with us. We hope that you all have an awesome awesome hobby week. Join the Facebook group. Find all the channels down below. Go and shop at Boards and Swords. Use the code PCP5. And just, remember to look after yourselves. And we will see you all again soon. Take care of yourselves.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
See you, everyone.
Bye.